Jet seals her rented housing unit door shut after guiding the Cali princess into the entry hallway.
"Oh, it smells lovely in here,"
Chuck remarks, as she immediately finds the source of the scent. Several small lit Terran candles are perching in several strategic and relatively safe locations. The princess internally acknowledges and is humoured by the fact that she would have once been much more concerned with so many open flames in someone's abode, but at present is clearly not bothered in the slightest.
"Pumpkin spice,"
Jed notifies, as she hangs her coat, revealing even more of her tattoos.
"Feel free to take a seat anywhere." "Thank you. So, what is it that you wanted to talk about?"
Chuck says, as she nestles down on the den's couch. Jet walks over to the kitchen area and opens the fridge. Pulling out 2 drinks, she makes her way back to the den and sits across from the Cali, who clearly takes notice of the chilled separate bottles of what looks to be homebrewed Terran spice rum and cold dew brew. Jet waggles her eye tufts as she pushes the cold dew bottle closer to the princess before reclining back, her spine letting out a few subtle cracks.
"Help yourself,"
she sighs, as her body relaxes, waiting a few seconds before reaching out for her rum.
"You know, I've met some pretty impressive Cali in my life. Out of all the non-Deathworlder species, I've always noticed that, for as respected as they are on the galactic stage, your people always happen to be underestimated. I see you've proven to be a prime example," the elderly Terran says, before taking a moderate serving from her bottle.
"Oh, thank you. Although I can't say we are at our proudest state in current times. In the grander sense, we're very proud of who we are and what we can contribute to the stars," Chuck responds, wondering where this is going. Jet gives a tilted nod.
"Yeah, but to be honest, that hostile dictatorship you have going on, right, really puts a huge hamper on your legacy. Though to give you credit, I'm surprised it took this long for your monarchy to sour like this," she points out.
"Well, the royal family, especially our line of queens, have been just as much of a servant to the Kelly people as they've been a ruler. It's simply how our traditional laws operated. But what my father has done is anything but tradition," Chuck says, before finally accepting the offered brew.
"Even before his coup, you had your own anti-tradition efforts, didn't you?"
Jet states. Chuck freezes up for just a moment at the sound of the Terran's tone of voice. "If you're insinuating I may have had any allegiance to my father's cause or goals, then you have a severe misunderstanding of who I am and what I was trying to do before my family was eradicated," she firmly replies.
"But you were trying to repeal some of the people's power over the royal family, right?"
Jet counters immediately. Chuck's lowers reach up and scratch at the sides of her head. "Yes, but not in any way that could lead to what had transpired. I didn't seek to strip the ability to stop the royal family abusing its power, only to modify what's allowed in our day-to-day lives. Must the queen be expected to spawn so many children? Must she betroth someone from a specific pool of individuals? Those are the things I argued against," she clarified.
"I know,"
Jet assures with a shrug. "Then why are you questioning me about this?" Chuck asks in complete bewilderment.
"Because I want to know what you intend to do once you get your throne back," Jet says.
"What do you mean?" the Kelly inquires.
"I mean, are you planning on making sweeping changes to finish what you started, or are you going to do what you can to stop such a coup from ever happening again? Granted, those aren't mutually exclusive, but what would that mean to succeed? Cement your power like what your father did, but in a just and nice way? You know, for the greater good."
Chuck thinks on that for a few moments, obviously not wanting to reveal her brother's existence to anyone. "No," she states softly.
"No what?"
a slightly surprised Jet asks. "No, I'm not going to impose my power past what its purpose is meant for. Perhaps there will be a transition period where security will be a high priority, but I'm not seeking the throne for power, and thus will ensure the Kelly people have their rightful amount of autonomy. The royal family are guiding hands, a direction to travel, a voice for all Cali to speak through. My father speaks only to his own voice. I refuse to keep my people silenced. If I solidify the power my father has instilled, I'll leave my people voiceless and at the mercy to those who inherit the throne after me. I may repeal certain traditional expectations of the royal family, but nothing that can be bent to be abused. I believe progressing for the Cali requires more freedoms in their personal lives, while also pulling back on the career advantages bestowed to the extended line. We were already given the best education credit could buy, but that doesn't mean we're entitled to lofty positions as a birthright, Chuck responds, though she stops herself from rattling on her desired changes to instead simply say, I've put much thought into this, I assure you.
Seems so. But have you considered abolishing the monarchy altogether? Jet says, before taking another swig.
No, not in any serious capacity at least, Chuck quickly replies.
Why not?
Jet pushes. Because it's not my place to do so. Under our traditional terms, only if the will of the people decides so will the royal family be stripped of its autonomy, the princess informs. Perhaps we'll issue a democratic vote once things settle down again. I don't mind doing that one bit.
Jet nods again. That's good to hear. But I guess time will tell if you honor that. If you don't, be wary. Your people have now seen the dark side of a monarchy, and may be resentfully better to you regardless of your intentions. You might just find yourself what Terrans call being Frenched in the 19th and 23rd centuries.
The elder Terran shrugs with a dark smile. I haven't gotten this far by compromising my principles. I've learned and grown a lot, but I still want to be the best for my people, Chuck says. What makes you so concerned about me and my people? She then asks, curious to know how much this woman knows.
I have my reasons. But let's just say that I'm not the biggest fan of blatant abuses of power.
Jet shrugs again. Oh, very well then, Chuck replies a bit awkwardly. The two then share a few empty moments of silence, neither having anything more to say on the subject.
Wanna get your ears pierced?
Jet suddenly offered, devilishly. Scarfing down the magnificent leftover barbecues he purchased from Ted's shack, Sonla sits on the bay floor, having passively watched the Mick and Terran children play their sport, involving a club and running in a square. That was until a new cargo ship made its entrance through the redundant entrance airlock. As soon as it lands, a hard-light sign spreads across the side of the hull stating, Zorake Meat Market Courier Service. Then, from Sonla's side, a familiar Terran approached with her hands on her hips. Glad to see you're staying out of trouble, Brandy chuckles. Delicious meat is just as important as testing explosives, the Varrock insists. If you say so, Brandy says, as she shakes her head and looks out to the baseball game. Thinking about asking to join in the fun? She questions. Nope. I like making bets when I play sports, and children don't have a lot of credits to bet with, Sonla replies, with a dismissive wave of her tail. Right. Well, there's nothing wrong with watching, Brandy grunts. Why are you here? I thought you were helping Simone with pretty painting her face, Sonla then asks. I was, but she's catching up with some folk at the moment. Meanwhile, I thought I'd explore and wander a little bit. Well, that, and I'd actually like to ask you for a favour. Sonla tilts her sore-stained face up at the Terran. Favour? For what? Another job, you mean? She asks. Kinda, yeah. 'Course you'll be paid for it, but it's less of a mission and more of an event service, the Terran explains. Only half paying attention, Sonla's eyes find themselves back on the cargo courier vessel, as the Terran named Jackie approached it. From the vessel itself stepped out two major-sized Zatuks, one male and the other female. Sonla's interest in the male nearly subsides, until she notices that both of the Zatuks' close appearances seem to indicate that they are closely related. Siblings or cousins, perhaps. Regardless, She eyes the vibrant blue mane of feathers that the male sports, and visually devours his well-groomed scales next.
I'll do whatever it is for free, she then informs the Terran next to her. But you help me see if he will be my boyfriend, she then says,
while pointing a sauce claw at the male in question. Furrowing her brow, Brandy looked out at the visiting Zartuk, and pursed her lips to fight back a laugh. "The blue-feathered one?" she questions a bit beside herself.
Yes, he's perfect.
Sonla aggressively nods. "But, look, I don't know how Varuk seek partners or date or whatever, but you literally just saw him. You don't know his name or if he's a compatible person for you. You sure you're looking for a boyfriend and not a hookup? Besides, I doubt he's going to be here long enough to even do that. I'm pretty sure they're just making a delivery for after the wedding ceremony."
I love fast and hard, and he's my type. Big.
Sonla unabashedly counters. This time Brandy can't help but let out a laugh. "Oh, goodness. What if he's already taken?" she asks, fully amused now.
He's not. Look how he walks. He's single.
Sonla replies instantly, with the utmost confidence. "How? You can't possibly—" Brandy huffed as her speech is nearly overwhelmed by laughter. "You know what? Sure, but why do you need my help? You seem pretty confident as it is."
Confidence doesn't mean I don't need emotional support. This man could be the one I spend the rest of my life with. That's a lot to put on the line.
I really think you're putting the cockpit behind the thrusters on this. You're setting yourself up to getting burned, Brandy warned.
If this goes well, there'll be plenty of time to thrust his cockpit,
Sonla growled lowly. Stunned for a moment from the admittedly hilarious innuendo, Brandy slapped a hand to her forehead. "Okay, I'm no expert on attraction and romance, but I'm certain that you're crossing some vaguely toxic lines here. It's fine to be attracted and crap, but relax a bit, okay? Look, if he's caught your attention, just approach and start a conversation. If he still seems cool to you, then shoot your shot, but in a flirtatious and not creepy way, alright? And if he says no, then respect that." Sonla tilts her head at the Terran's words, while still staring at the Zartuk.
Of course. Boyfriends are not convinced with just raw inside feelings. I must be respectfully tactful and be the best attractive feminine goddess I know I am,
the little lizard woman stated, before quickly choking down the last bits of her meal and swiftly licking her graspers clean. "Right. Yeah, here." Brandy chuckles, as she pulls out disinfectant wipes from a lower unzipped pocket from her cargo pants. "I know that's just how Varuk grew themselves, but this may make your hands smell less like saliva. And they might help with the sore stains on your shirt."
"Ah, yes. Thank you."
Sonla swiftly accepted a few wipes and re-cleaned herself.
"Ready,"
she then declares, before starting to make her way to the mail. But her confident steps slow to a stop, and she looks back at Brandy, clearly 100 times more nervous. Sign, Brandy nods. "All right, I'll help introduce you," she agrees, before passing the small woman up. As the female spoke with Jackie regarding where his products are to go, Brandy approaches the male, who is currently unloading crates by hand. His blue features bloom slightly, as the new Terran draws closer to him. "Ah, sorry. My sister and her pack own the business. She's the one you want to talk to," he says in a deep, rattling voice that seems pleasant, if not absolutely nervous. "Actually, you're the one I'm aiming to talk to if you don't mind," Brandy assures, before crossing her arms, preparing herself for the mountain of awkwardness this whole situation is about to bring. Oh, okay, why?" he asks shyly, as though he's not used to having this sort of interaction. "Feel free to send me off if I'm making you too uncomfortable, but you seem to have caught the eye of a friend of mine, and she'd like to chat with you if you have time," the Terran informed. Blinking blankly, the Zartuk gently put down the crate that was in his arms. "I did? Why?
Is there something in my feathers? He inquires, while running his claws through his mane.
Oh, no, she just likes what she sees and would like to meet you before you head back out. Maybe exchange net addresses or something, but that's really up to you, Brandy explains.
She likes, Oh, wow. Okay. I'm very flattered, but, I'm really not worth pursuing right now. I'm currently packless and just working for my sister's pack at the moment because, I haven't, anyway. Yeah.
He nervously spoke, tripping over his arms like they were consistent speed bumps. Immediately clocking him as a very introverted individual, Brandy uncrossed her arms and slipped her hands into her pockets to look more relaxed. I don't think my friend minds much about the pack thing, she states, as she starts to unveil the Varrook, who's standing completely upright in a state of pure enrapture. Her dark eyes looked up at the male widely, as though witnessing a long-lost treasure of an ancient lost civilization. Long as she quested to find it, and is now potentially right in front of her. The male looks down at her, seeming to have expected a species that was commonplace in this territory of space.
Hi,
the Zartuk starts to introduce, before Sonla unintentionally interrupts.
You're so beautiful,
she utters, in a trance-like admiration before shaking her head.
Sorry, hello, I'm Sonla. What's your name? She corrected,
though the expanse of her eyes didn't change. Very much flustered, the Zartuk needs a moment to formulate a response.
Oh, wow. Wow. Thank you. Thank you. You're, nice and you're, small. I mean, no offense. I'm just, I didn't expect to see a Varrook in these parts. Oh, my name. Right, I'm Zekros. It's nice to meet you, Sonla.
He trailed off, not knowing what to say. Brandy gradually steps back while eyeing the Varrook, begging to the stars themselves that the little woman doesn't go ham with her verbiage.
Zekros, isn't that also a flower from the Zartuk homeworld?
Sonla asks. Zekros actually chuckled bashfully and scratched his claws in his blue mane.
Oh, yes. My mother compared me to one after I hatched, and she named me that too, I guess. Sorry. Does Sonla mean anything in Varrook culture? He replies.
Sonla nods rapidly.
It means breaker of glass. I break a vase and a window after hatching,
she answers pridefully.
Oh, wow, Zekros laughed. Hatched with a rebel spirit, huh?
Yes, and it hasn't changed in the last 32 standard years. I don't know how I'm still alive, to be honest. I've broken a lot of windows,
she replies, falling into a brief stint of self-reflection.
Bro, what's the hold-up? We gotta get this product moved to...
The female Zartuk calls back before seeing the ongoing interaction. Hey, these people aren't bothering you, are they? She asks, while striding over with 100 times the presence of her sibling.
No. Sorry, I'll get these crates out. Sorry.
Zekros quickly responded, overly apologetically. As he reached in to grab another crate, his sister glared down at the Terran and Varrook suspiciously.
What's going on here? She demanded to know.
Oh, sorry, we were just... Brandy started to say, before being interrupted by puffed-out-chest Sonla.
I'm flirting with your beautiful brother,
she answered, in a completely confident manner. Stunned as she processed that, the female Zartuk blinked rapidly and started to cackle, but her expression shifted into a dead serious look of realization that casted all humor out of the situation. Turning around, she grabbed the back of her brother's shirt and, in a single yank, easily dragged him back and pushed him towards the Varrook.
Take an early lunch break, bro. See where this goes, she orders, in a monotone voice. But we just got...
He starts to respond before being pushed again.
Trust me, go,
she instructed, before silently mouthing words to the Varrook.
You better be serious about this.
Picking up on the sister's desperate, yet wholesomely earnest attempt to give her brother a kick in the rear end to find his own way in life, Sonla accepts the opportunity wholeheartedly.
"Do you like Terran barbecue?"
she asks, as she reached up as if to take his hand, but instead used it to climb up his arm and casually hang from his shoulder.
I don't know, maybe. I don't think I've had it before."
Brandy watched them leave, back towards Ted's shack, before looking back to the sister. "He struggled to leave the nest, as it were?" she guessed.
"Not quite. He's just had no luck with finding a partner. He's a good guy, but folk expect majors like him and I to be a certain way, which he isn't. Honestly, if he's not going to be picky with species, neither will I."
She waved off, before turning back to her ship.
"Well,
seeing that I just helped diminish your workforce, do you need help with unloading and moving these crates?" Brandy offers.
"Sure,"
the Zartuk accepted graciously. The morning of the big day arrives. Although the actual event won't start for some time, the participants are already up and intending to prepare for it. All but one, who doesn't even know what her role is yet. Additionally, due to a very late night, she wakes up to find that she has slept in. Sonla stretches one of her arms up in a stretch, and yawns. Though dual realizations hit her at once, causing her to freeze up in place. For one, she was fucking sore as all hell. Secondly, she heard the deep slumbering breaths of someone else sharing her bed. As the memories came flooding back of the previous day's date that turned into a wild night between reptiles, Sonla clenches her hand and drew it down in a dragged-out shaping fist pump.
"Yes!"
she happily whisper-screams to herself. "We're really doing that thing? Really?" Simone whines, as she fits into her dress with Donna's assistance. I know, but Jack insisted. Y'all are not to see each other until it's showtime," Donna assured, as she walked around the redhead to look over the fit and placement of the dress itself, while making minor fixes. "Oh boy. Alright. You know she's been spoiling me with surprises lately. Gotta figure something out to get back at her." "We can have a tattoo of both of your names rushed," Donna jokes, as she grabs a hairbrush and hair product. "Nah, if I get a tattoo, it'll definitely be with her there," Simone chuckles, as she reaches up to itch her face, only to have Donna swiftly push the hand away. "No, you're going to mess up with your makeup again, and I'm only willing to reapply it one more time. Better save that for an emergency. Where does it itch?" Donna says. "Crease of my left nostril and inner left eye," Simone reports. "My left or yours?" the other woman asks. "Mine," Simone confirmed, as the itching sensation started to get on her nerves. "Gotcha," Donna says, as she carefully takes care of the spots in question. "Now, just don't think about itching, otherwise you'll just suddenly be itchy everywhere. It's like that manual breathing thing," she informed teasingly. "Oh, you bitch," Simone sighs, along with Donna's evil chuckling. After perfecting the look of Simone's head fur, Donna leans back and smiles. "Have I ever told you how much I hated you when we were little kids?" she asks endearingly. "You were such a mean tomboy who looked like a cartoon bully who'd demand lunch money. I couldn't have ever expected to be the one preparing you for this big day." Simone let out a huff of laughter. "I was an angry brat, big time," she agrees. "Now look at you. Absolutely stunning," Donna says, as she turns the tank of a woman to look directly at a mirror. "And I'm not just talking about my impeccable makeup application." Simone's eyes start to involuntarily water as she looks herself over, which is swiftly taken care of by a lightly dabbing tissue from Donna. Whoa. Sorry, didn't mean to threaten my work," Donna chuckled. "Sorry, I wish my dad was here to see this, to celebrate with us. to know that he's a grandpa.
Simone closed her eyes to fight off the urge to cry. He would have fucking loved to be a grandpa. Doing her best to fight off the redhead's eye leakage, Donna quickly sighs and gives up before giving Simone an assuring hug. He would have, she says, in a comforting tone, as she gives the bulky woman a hug for as long as she needs. When the redhead finally pulls away, Donna taps her hands on Simone's shoulders as she inspects the damage. Alrighty, sit back down. I need to fix your face again, she instructs. Carefully sitting in her chair, Simone shakes her head. I'm going to be honest. This makeup isn't going to last very long anyway. I'm going to be a fucking mess. And I can't fucking wait, she informs softly. What? No cold feet? No panic? You must really love her, Donna teases, as she cracks open her kit once more. Don't worry, I'll apply it again when it's time for photos. I love her so much that she made me love myself. I'd die for her, but I want to live for her too, Simone replies, as she sinks a bit into her thoughts. Last night, I had a pretty bad PTSD episode. I don't remember the dream I was having, but I woke up feeling like my heart was breaking out of my chest. But I can't even begin to describe what it's like to have her there, ready and willing to help me come back down. There's no doubt in my mind that I want today to happen, but I'm admittedly terrified that something is going to go very wrong, and I'll have another episode and ruin it. Donna leans down and pats Simone's eyes dry again. Even if that happens, we have plans in place. Even a space for you to go if you need to. But even if there wasn't, you're not going to ruin today. Take it from the lady who obsessed over making it as perfect as possible. It isn't about being a perfect event that goes off without a hitch. It's about you two declaring your love for one another to the universe and celebrating it with your friends and family. That's going to happen regardless, got it? She assures. Simone nods and lets out a measured breath. Got it. Plus, I hear your grad friends made a fuck ton of grandma brownies for the after party, so I'm sure we'll all have a hell of a time no matter what, Donna chuckles.